Hello, Year 4. This is Ms.Nourhan. Today we will still discussing Unit 7. Today we will discuss page 102 in your textbook. So please, all of you, pause the video now, bring your textbook, and open page 102. Okay? We have here the reading. Look at the picture and try to think what can you see here. We can see here a young girl is sitting with a woman, and the woman here, she has white hair, so I think she's an old woman, maybe she's her grandmother. Okay, we have here stories about problems and issues. Mona lives in America. Her grandmother, this is her grandmother, lives far away from here in a small village in the Middle East. What is the Middle East? This is the Earth, okay? If we divided the Earth like this, it will be the West, and this part will be the East, okay? So the Middle East are the countries which are in the east part of the Earth, okay? So Mona lives in America, so Mona lives in the West, and in America, so she speaks English, American English, and her grandmother lives far away from here in a small village in the Middle East. So, and her grandmother lives here in the East. Okay, Mona went to visit her. They didn't speak the same language. As we mentioned before, Mona speaks English, and maybe her grandmother speaks Arabic, okay? So they can't understand each other because they didn't speak the same language. What will they do? So they made up their own language. How? Let's jump to the next slide. Made up means, okay, so made up means to combine together. Combine means Mona and her grandmother, they're combined together to form something. What did they form? They form a new language in order to connect and speak together, okay? Let's move to the next part. Okay, the title of the story is City's Secrets, okay? City, do you know this word? I think it's familiar here in Egypt, okay? And we have secrets, okay? So City is a person, and this person has some secrets, okay? This is a story, and we discussed before the writing that we have in Unit 7, which is writing a story with everyday setting, okay? So it will be the same here, and we will find the same features, okay? So City's Secrets, my grandmother lives on the other side of the Earth. Can you remember when we draw the Earth and we said the grandmother lives here in the Middle East and Mona lives here? So Mona says my grandmother lives on the other side of the Earth. When I have daylight, when Mona has daylight in America, what about the Middle East? It's dark. We have the moon, okay? When our sky grows dark and when it's dark in America, the sun is peeking through her window and brushing the bright lemons on her lemon tree. I think about this when I'm going to sleep. Your turn, I say. Okay, we have here a new word, which is peek. Peek is a verb, it means to look at something quickly. So we have here the sun is peeking, is like looking at from the window, through her window. Looking at what? Looking at the lemons on her lemon tree. So we have here a grandmother. She lives in the Middle East. She has a lemon tree, and Mona went to visit. Mona speaks English. She lives in the East, in America, and she went to visit her grandmother in the Middle East. Okay, and we have here peek, to look at something quickly. As I told you before, prepare your copybook and copy these new vocabularies. We have the first one is made up. Don't copy the definition. I will upload the vocabulary sheet on the LMS, okay? Just focus on the word itself and try to make a quiz for you, okay? Spelling quiz. And the second one is beak, okay? So let's move to the next part. Once I went to visit my grandmother and I do not speak the same language as we mentioned before. We talked through my father as if he were a telephone because he spoke both our languages. So her father can speak Arabic and can speak English, okay? And could translate what we said. Translate is a verb. Translate is a verb, means to change something, this is something, okay? To change something spoken or written from one language to another. For example, from English to Arabic or from Arabic to English, okay? So copy this new word, please. Okay? I called her Seti, and Seti is an Arabic word which means grandma in Arabic. So we can find some children, they are calling their grandmothers Seti, okay? She called me Habibi, which means darling. And her grandmother, she can't speak English, she can't say darling, so she keeps saying to Mona, Habibi or Habibi, okay? Her voice danced as high as the whistles of birds. So the grandmother has an amazing voice, like the whistles of the birds. What I have here as, adjective as. And we mentioned before while explaining writing that I can use simile while writing your own story, okay? This is a story with everyday setting about a character. We have here the writer is Mona, and she writes about her grandmother, okay? So you can choose, while writing, you can choose a character like your friend or someone from your family, your parents, your grandparents, and so on. And you can, of course, use simile, as I have here. Her voice danced as high as the whistles of birds. We are comparing her grandmother's voice with the whistles of birds, okay? Her voice giggled and whooshed like wind going around corners. She had 1,000 rivers in her voice. So giggle is a verb, means to laugh because you are amused, and amused means happy. So her grandmother is a cheerful person, she loves, okay? And we have also whoosh, means to move very fast with the sound of air rushing. We can say the wind whoosh, okay? To make the sound of the wind, okay? Let's move to the next part. Okay, we have finished the first page. Let's move to the second one. What can we see here in the second one? We mentioned before that her grandmother, she has a lemon tree, so we can find here some lemons. We can find some leaves. And what is this? This is called a jar, and we will mention to this. Okay, first of all, the first part, a few curls of dark hair peeked out of her scarf on one side. What's the meaning of scarf? Huh? Can you remember me in the class? Did you see my hair before? No. Why? Because I usually wears scarf. So her grandmother wears a scarf. Let's return back to the page, to the first page. Okay. So here in the first page, this is the grandmother. She wears a purple scarf, okay? And what can we see here from the scarf? This is white hair, and on the other side, we can find black hair. Okay, like your grandparents, they usually have black and white hair, but This one is very strange because one side is white and the other side is black. They are not mixed together. So Mona mentioned here a few curls of dark hair peeked out of her scarf. What do you mean of peeked out? They came out from her scarf on one side, and a white curl peeked out on the other side. I wanted her to take off the scarf so I could see in her hair. Was it striped like this one? Striped. Okay, so we don't know if her grandmother has striped hair or not, okay? Thank you so much. Study hard and please copy this word. Striped means, it's an adjective, means having stripes, okay? So striped is an adjective, means having stripes. Add this new word to your vocabulary's copybook. Study hard, the year 4. Thank you so much.